Hey folks, welcome to another series here on Posi-TIPS with Rachelle. Folks, I am so excited to kick off this new series as promised on the value of life purpose, and specifically want to title this one is Your Life Purpose. Don't leave Earth without it. And so folks, this is often something when people talk about their careers or their professional lives, this is actually something that we're starting to hear more of here in the last maybe 10 years or so, of the importance of purpose. Not just having a job, not just having a career, but also fulfilling your life purpose. And we hear the example of people may have been, perhaps it'll be, I don't know, the CEO of a Fortune 500 company who retires early and decides to go teach high school English or become a theater professor at the local university. I mean, these type of examples happen all the time. And what you'll often hear when you read these stories, when you see these stories, or the individuals are interviewed, you will often see them radiate and beam with such happiness, fulfillment, and joy. Why? Because they are fulfilling their life purpose. And so this is something that I want to just kick off this series by highlighting the value of purpose. And if you're waking up every day, if you're going to work, if you're on Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, you're dreading going into work, and I gotta challenge you to ask yourself why. But you may not even be dreading your job or dreading going to work or your career or anything like that, but you just feel empty, you feel unfulfilled. You ask yourself, is this it? Is this all? You may have even reached the top of your field of your industry, and you just feel that there's something missing, professionally in your life. There's just something more that you're not getting, and that you're wishing for and you're desiring for, but you're not getting. And folks, I would argue that the deficit there is purpose. You're missing your purpose. There's a disconnect there between what you're doing and what you actually would or wish to desire to be doing. And that difference there is purpose. Purpose. And you just when you live a life of purpose, when you're fulfilling your purpose, regardless of what that is, your life will never be the same. Your life will never be the same. And something that I heard a long time ago, that is, when you're thinking about discovering your life purpose and what that all means and what that is, what that looks like, it's if everyone on the planet who had a job or with working age was offered $10 an hour, what would you do? Would it be what you're doing right now, or would you be doing something entirely different? Be honest with yourself, and see that's where you're taking the pay out of the equation. If you're chasing high pay and all of that kind of stuff, and hey, there's nothing wrong with that. But many super highly rich, wealthy people are pathologically unhappy and very unfulfilled, and they will tell you that. All right. And so when you think about if everyone was paid the same, regardless of what you're doing or what your job was, would you be doing what you're doing now, or would you be doing something entirely different? Okay, see, and that's where your true purpose is, and what you were placed on this earth to do is clearly obvious, and where that disconnect lies. If what, my heart is truly doing this, but I'm over here doing this. And folks, there's nothing wrong with that. As we learn, as we grow, as we mature, as we age, we have greater clarity regarding our lives, regarding who we are, regarding our values and what we stand for, regarding our likes and dislikes. A 21-year-old, 22-year-old just graduating from college has not, in many cases, in most cases, had enough life experience to say, in 20 years, this is what I want to be doing, or I'm going to be happy doing this or doing that or doing whatever. And so that is something that will certainly take time, and it could be a trial and error process, as it often is. If I tried this, I don't like this, I'm going to try this, and that didn't work either, I'm going to try this. It could be just a series of trial and error to discover and determine what exactly your purpose is. Other folks know, there's a lot more clarity around that. When I look back on my life, I can see how God has truly connected the dots. When I stood up in front of the congregation at Greater Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church in Gulfport, Mississippi, as a 7-year-old, reading the highlights to the congregation, that was the beginning of my life as a professional speaker and as a public speaker. All right, some of the different aspects of my life, where I've been constantly, in Northwestern, in group projects, I was always pointed to, you're going to speak, you're going to do this. Anything publicly, we want you to do it. And there's been a lot of that in my life. Okay, the ability to influence others, persuade others. Okay, much of that was developed during my sales career in the corporate world. So all the dots connect. So I challenge you to really look at your life and evaluate your life and ask yourself, okay, where are the dots? Where are they lying? And how can I connect them? All right, and so do that sooner rather than later. I think that is so tragic when you see someone 80-something years old, 90-something years old, and as I've had conversations with people in these situations, and they look back on their lives and say, I wish I would have done this, I wish I would have done this, I wish I would have done this, and just lives are filled with such regret. And why? Because they feel that they're about to depart this earth at some point, and they never lived their life on purpose. They never discovered their life purpose. So that's why I say don't leave earth without it. Your life purpose is so important. And I can give you so many different examples. And I even think about my own father and how he has just such a passion, has always had just such a passion for fitness, recreation, sports, all of that. You know, and his whole career was built around that. His whole career was built around that. I tell you, I said, now how cool is that? If you would have had a different job, you wouldn't have been fulfilled. You wouldn't have been at an environment where you were able to lead people and develop people, help people become more fit, you know, developing and scheduling and running 10Ks, you know, when we lived in Korea, all right? And so there's just so many different things that life has to offer, folks, but it's a life of purpose is so important. You don't want to go, you deserve better than to go through life unfulfilled, unhappy, miserable, hating your job, wishing you were somewhere else. Okay, the only change that can happen, it will happen when you decide to make the change. I think a lot of people sit back in life wishing things were different, but no one wants to take any action to make things different. All right, and so it's truly up to you, but I just wanted to kick this episode off here today, highlighting the value of your life purpose. And I challenge you, your life purpose is important. Don't leave earth without it. I look forward to continuing this conversation next time, folks, but remember, I am positively passionate about you and your success.